The Valley Railway Series, Book 2, Valley Engines. Dear friends, in my last book, I told you all about how Smudger left Sodor to start his new life. I asked him if joining the Lower Valley Railway was easy. "They got used to me quick," said Smudger. "Everybody except Candy, anyway. She wanted nothing to do with me." He didn't tell me why, right there and then. "That would spoil the whole plot, wouldn't it?" he said with a wink. The author. Lewis. Smudger soon had two nice pairs of buffers. While they were being fitted, they also gave him the number 2 on his side. They also checked his wheels to ensure that he wouldn't derail like he used to. The little controller monitored everything.
"Hopefully now, you can be a better engine than you were on Sodor. It costs us a lot of money to get you here, and I want you to prove yourself to me."
"Yes, of course, sir."
"Tomorrow, you will be taken to the site. There's lots of trucks there that need to be taken to the harbor soon, and we need to get the job done as soon as possible."
The next day, Smudger was loaded onto a flatbed, and a large green engine pulled him away. She seemed to recognize him.
"Smudger, it's great to see you again. It's me, the other engine from the boat."
Smudger was surprised. "Wow! You look great!"
"I know. They gave me a fresh coat of paint, and they gave me a name. I'm called Misaki now. I quite like it." "It's a pretty name."
Misaki told Smudger about the site.
"It's a ammunition dump from the mainland. The army stored weapons and are wasted there. And now they want all of it back. And you might have to work with Lewis."
When they arrived, Smudger soon found out who Lewis was. He was the Army's big brown tank engine who spent his time during the war shunting trucks of weapons and ammo. He had a scar on his face, and he didn't look friendly at all. When Smudger was lowered onto the rails, Lewis immediately began to order him about.
"Hurry along now. These trains need to be in place tonight. There's no slacking off here."
"I'm just getting ready. Give me a minute, why don't you?"
"I shouldn't even give you a second. If you're not working, you're dawdling, and I don't take well to dawdling. Now get a move on."
Smudger worked hard that day and tried his best not to let Lewis get to him. He shunted long lines of trucks filled with wastes and explosives into sidings and stayed as cautious as he possibly could, all while feeling Lewis breathing down his smoke box.
"You're too slow, Private. At your rate, the job will never be finished."
"I'll finish on time. And besides, this stuff is dangerous. I can't rush with these."
"You should watch your back then. Orders are orders. This job must be finished immediately."
And before his driver could check him, Lewis rumbled out of his siding, bumping into the last truck of Smudger's train and derailing it. Smudger was livid. Smudger's trucks were back on the rails just as Edward Mann arrived.
"Not going well."
"I'd be finished if that army jerk wasn't here. He keeps rushing me, and he's driving me mad."
"His antics will catch up to him eventually. He only does what he's told and never listens to common sense. Now let's get this job done before the little controller arrives."
Smudger was much happier with Edward, and the two set to work at once. The trucks liked to bother Smudger, but they knew that even grinning at Edward was a mistake. Later, the two were resting at the water tower. Lewis puffed alongside them.
"Tired already? Quit slacking off and get back to work this instant."
"We've been working all day."
"We'll be back at work soon."
"You'd better be, or there will be trouble from the officers. Now then, if you'll excuse me."
He hurried away to fetch some trucks, but he didn't know that the tracks beneath him had been weakened from tunnels being dug underground, which had been filled with weapons and ammo. As he puffed towards the trucks, he missed the warning sign next to him. The ground gave way beneath his wheels, and with a loud boom, he slid down into the disused tunnel. His driver and firemen were unhurt, but Lewis was now in an awkward position. The little controller soon arrived.
We haven't got time to pull you out, Lewis. Smudger, Edward, man, can you two finish the job on your own? You can rescue Lewis as soon as you're finished.
The two engines grinned at each other.
Of course, sir.
We'll be done before you know it. Lewis could only grumble in unprecedented fury as the two other engines, whistling cheerfully, hurried away to finish their work.